शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करं। नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै। नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः। ॐ नमः परमहंसास्वादितचरणकमलचिन्मकरन्दाय भक्तजनमानसनिवासाय श्रीरामचन्द्राय ॐ। So we finished 50th Sarga and have to start 51st Sarga. So beginning from here, 15 Sargas beginning from here will be the story of Vishwamitra. So as will be narrated by Shatananda. We will see very elaborately the story will be narrated. So far we have seen that this Rama, Vishwamitra along with Rama and Lakshmana and other munis also. So Ahalya Shapodharanam is over. And then they come to Mithila and they meet Janaka, Shata. So Janaka and Shatananda actually come to meet them. And then so those pleasantries are exchanged. And then Janaka asks about these two princes that are with Vishwamitra. Who are they? Where did they come from? And etc. To that Vishwamitra told them that these people are Dasharathasya Putrau. So Tau Dasharathasya Putrau. And then he tells Ahalya Darshanam, etc. All that happened. Ahalya Darshanam Chaiva Gautamena Samagatam. So that sentence also he said. So when these things were being said, there was this some person there, Shatananda, who's immediately he is excited about when he heard Dasharathasya Putra, and then Ahalya Darshanam also was over, Gautamena Samagamam. So that is all when it's stated, he is getting excited. So how excitement can be shown through poetry, Valmiki will very nicely show here in this Sarga. We will see that. So this is this 50th Sarga. So beginning from here will be Vishwamitra's story. Shatananda himself will start the story. In fact, he will continue the story for the next 15 Sargas. अथ एकपञ्चाशः सर्गः तस्य तद्वचनं श्रुत्वा विश्वामित्रस्य धीमतः हृष्टरोमा महातेजा शतानन्दो महातपाः गौतमस्य सुतो ज्येष्ठस्तपसा द्योतितप्रभः रामसन्दर्शनादेव परं विस्मयमागतः tasya tadvachanam shrutva. So tasya, see, always this tasya tadvachanam shrutva is coming again and again. You should remember when is this. So tasya is a sarvanama. You know what is sarvanama called in pronoun? It's a pronoun. So when do you use sarvanama? You use sarvanama in the case of prasiddhyarthe. So Vishwamitra is already famous. So tasya tadvachanam, or contextually. So far we have been saying contextually. Tasya tadvachanam means tasya Vishwamitrasya, tadvachanam means uktavachanam shrutva. That is anyway there, but sarvanama is also used in the sense of prasiddhyartha. Okay, when the person is very famous, then you just have to say use a sarvanama, and at least contextually it's understood that it is him that we are speaking about. So Vishwamitrasya vachanam shrutva. So tasya Vishwamitrasya, he is telling, he is using tasya and Vishwamitrasya also. So I am giving. So tasya prasiddhasya Vishwamitrasya vachanam shrutva. Dhimataha Vishwamitrasya vachanam shrutva. So that intelligent Vishwamitra's vachanam shrutva. Khrishtaroma Mahateja Shatanando Mahatapaha. This Shatananda Vismayamagataha. That is, this Shatananda became excited. He became amazed, awestruck. Vismayamagataha in second shloka. So Shatanandaha Vismayamagataha. Everything else is so adjectives and filling up the thing. So what kind of Shatananda? Khrishtaroma Vismayamagataha. So he had this, what we say, goosebumps, he was excited. So he had his hair standing on end. We say Khrishtaroma Mahateja. The Shatananda himself had great tejas around him. Mahatapaha, he was a great tapasvi. Gautamasya Jyeshthaha Sutaha. He is the elder son of Gautama. Tapasa Dyotita Prabhaha. So he had this great prabha or luster around him. And how did that come? That Kanti he got because of tapas. So Tapasa Dyotita Prabhaha. And Rama Sandarshanadeva Vismayamagataha, Param Vismayamagataha. So he was extremely excited to just by the darshana of Rama. He was extremely excited. Why? Because he knows that this person is who's going to save my mother from the shapa. So therefore he is extremely excited and he wants to know what has happened. See the excitement. So Valmiki will show that And then also, so already Vishwamitra has told all that is over very briefly in just half a shloka. In fact, going ahead also he's going to say in half a shloka or one shloka. And then he's very excited and he wants to know. So Vismayamagataha etau nishannau samprekshya shatanando nripatmajau sukhasinau munishreshtham Vishwamitram athabravit. So etau nripatmajau, these two nripatmajas, who are they? Rama and Lakshmana. Etau nripatmajau Nishannau means, so generally Nishannaha means somebody who is, so who's bowing down in obedience, we say Nishannaha. Here Nishannau means Asane Upavishto. So these people have sat down. He saw, so these Rama and Lakshmana who have sat down in their Asane Upavishto. That is the meaning of Nishannau. So Samprekshya Shatanandaha and these Sukhasino. So they have sat down and they have sat down comfortably. So Nishannau Sukhasino. So Munishreshtham Vishwamitram Athabravit. So he saw Rama and Lakshmana sitting down comfortably on their asana. Then he looked at Vishwamitra and then asked him the following question. So Munishreshtham Vishwamitram Athabravit. So apime munishardula mama mata yashasvini darshita rajaputraya tapo dirgham upagata apirame mahateja mama mata yashasvini vanye rupaharat pujam pujarhe sarvadehinam apiramaya kathitam yadvrittam tatpuratanam mama matur mahatejo devena duranushtitham api kaushika bhadram te gurunama masangata mama mata munishreshtha rama sandarshanaditah api me guruna ramah pujitah kushikatmaja ihagato mahatejah pujam prapya mahatmanah api shantena manasa gurur me kushikatmaja ihagate naramena pujitena bhivaditah. So as even I am reading these shlokas, I am getting goosebumps. So this api he is using, that is showing his ascharya there. So this api is used in prashnarthe api here. So he's asking, so has this been done? Has this been done? That is what he's asking. His excitement is expressing in terms of so many questions. All that he wants to know is whether Rama has, has undone the curse that Gautama gave to Ahalya. But he's asking the same thing in many ways. And then this api, using of api here, so indicates that excitement. So there are some usages like this in Valmiki Ramayana. For example, later in the Vanavasa, when Bharata comes to meet Rama, there is one entire Sarga that starts with Kachit. So all shloka starts with Kachit. So it's called Kachit Sarga in parlance. It's not a technical term or something. So in general parlance, it's called Kachit Sarga because the entire Sarga has shlokas. Almost the entire Sarga has shlokas that start with Kachit. That is, Rama is asking about the welfare of citizens of Ayodhya. So are people, so are they all right? Or how are these people? How are those people? He's going to ask. So these are some kind of, some kind of prayogas that Valmiki does to fill in that mood. So here api is used in the sense also so many api, api te munishardula, api rame mahateja, all these, how many, 5-6 shlokas are used, api, that shows excitement here. So that's Valmiki's way of creating some kind of that mood. How otherwise how will you show? If it was a street drama or something, stage drama, then you can show the person is acting vismaya, etc. But then in even in poetry he is able to show. So apite munishardula mama mata yashasvini darshita rajaputraya tapodirgham upagata. So mama mata, my mother, whose tapodirgham upagata means dirgham tapaha upagata. So my mother who has undertaken long penance. So long tapa, my mother who has undertaken long tapas. Api te means tvaya here. So tvaya darshita, rajaputraya darshita, has my mother been shown by you to this rajaputra, that is Rama. That is, did you take Rama to that ashrama and show my mother? That is, tell him about the story, all that he's asking. So mama mata yashaswini. So my mother who's yashaswini. Yashaswini means somebody who has great fame. So all through Valmiki Ramayana, later you will see, I think I mentioned this earlier also, there are 3 adjectives that keep you repeating again and again for Sita Devi. So Tattvavedanta said this, so which is true. There are 3, not that he said it is there, but he gave a particular kind of orientation to that. The 3 adjectives keeps coming again and again. So Manaswini, Yashaswini and Tapaswini. So of these 3, I think Manaswini, and so he says all 3 are there in Lalita Sahasranama, but strictly speaking that's not true. I think Yashaswini and Manaswini is there. Manaswini, Manavati, Maheshi, Mangalakriti, etc. And then Yashaswini also I think is there. Tapaswini I don't think, in that word, exact word is not there, but that sense is there. So either, so of these three, only two are there, strictly speaking, the same sense. So anyway, this Yashaswini is being used for Ahalya also here. So twice he is using the same Sarga. Yashaswini means somebody who has great fame. So Yashaswini, Manaswini, Tapaswini. Later you can check all through Ramayana for Sita Devi very frequently. And in Sundarakanda you will see again and again it keeps coming for Sita Devi. So Mama Mata Yashaswini, my very famous mother, so who's Tapodirgham Upagata, who has been performing tapas for a long time. So has she been shown by you to Rama? That is, did you take Rama to the ashrama? That's this. So api here means, so has it been done? So did you do it? Has this happened? That's the intention of api there. Api Rame Mahateja Mama Mata Yashaswini Vanye Rupaharat Pujam Pujarhe Sarvadehinam. So here again, so like Prasad ji was telling the last sarga, so the last or previous sarga before that, that this Ahalya Shapodharanam episode is where Rama's divinity is for the first time perhaps explicitly being shown. So this is again Shatananda telling something like that. So Rama is Sarvadehinam Pujarhaha. So his Rama is Sarvadehinam Pujarhaha, is somebody who's fit to be worshipped by all embodied beings. Dehi means somebody who has a body. That is any body, it can be, not just a human body. So Rama is somebody who's worthy of being worshipped by all beings. So Api Rame Mahateja Mama Mata Yashaswini. So my mother, my very famous mother, Mama Yashaswini Mata. So Rame Vanye Rupaharat Pujam. So did she offer puja did my mother offer puja by all the things that are available in the forest? Vanyehi means whatever is available in the vana, that is those fruits, roots, etc. So Vanyehi Rame Pujam Upaharat Api. So did it happen? Did my mother offer puja? Because mind you, what did Kaushika say? So not Kaushika, what did Gautama say? Gautama said that Rama will come and you have to offer him your atithyam. Puja you do, then you will be rid of your curse. So he's asking, so Api Rame Vanyehi Pujam Upaharat. My mother, did she offer puja? But then what will she offer puja with? Only what is available, around her. With that you will offer. This is going to come again in Ayodhya Kanda. So Kaushalya will say that, what we eat is what our devatas also we eat. So Yadanna Bhutaha Yadannaha vai bhutaha tadanna tasya devata. Something like that. There's a shloka. So that is, so what we eat, we offer to God. That's the idea. So whatever you eat, whatever for you in your forest, the same thing you offer to Bhagavan also, Ishvara also. So Pujarhe Sarvadehinam. This Rama who's Pujarha, Sarvadehinam Pujarha. So Rame, Tasmin Rame, did she offer puja to him? Api Ramaya Kathitam Yadvrittam Tat Puratanam Mama Matur Mahatejo Devena Duranushtitam. So Api Ramaya Kathitam. So that Puratanam Yadvrittam Kathitam. So did you tell Rama all that old story that has happened? Puratanam Vrittam Yadvrittam. That is whatever happened in the past. So that long old, what should I say? So long ago, that kind of story, Yadvrittam, whatever has transpired. So Kathitam, did you tell Ramaya Kathitam? Has it been told to Rama? So and then Mama Matuhu Mahatejaha Devena Duranushtitam. Mahateja has He Mahatejaha, He Vishwamitra. So Mama Matuhu Devena Duranushtitam. So Mama Matuhu Yadvrittam, the story of my mother, and then Devena Duranushtitam. So that which has been wrongly done by Deva. Here Deva means Indra, or one of the Tikakaras is telling Devena means, so it can be Brahmaji also, because Brahmaji created her, and then entrusted her to Gautama's care and things like that. So Devena Duranushtitam, something that has been wrongly done. So more appropriate is Indra here. Okay. So the mainstream understanding is Indra. Anyway, so Devena Duranushtitam. So has it been Kathitam? Has it been told to Rama? Api Kaushika Bhadram Te Gurunama Masangata Mama Mata Munishreshta Rama Sandarshanaditaha. So He Kaushika Bhadram Te, may good happen to you. Mama Mata Mama Guruna Sangata Api. So did my mother ultimately join again with my father? That is, has my father accepted her again? So Guruna. So Guru means father here. Okay. So Guru is somebody who's you respect him, and then father is also the Upadeshta. He gives you. And then Gautama was himself a great Muni anyway. So this Guruna here means, so by his Pitra, that is by his father. So by Mama Guruna means by my father, has my mother been accepted again? Mama Mata He Munishrestha Rama Sandarshanaditaha. So why should he accept her? Because Rama Sandarshana, Rama Sandarshana is over. That is, he said that the curse will be removed when Rama comes to Ahalya and Gautama's ashrama. So now that has happened, Rama Sandarshanat. So because of that being the reason, Rama Sandarshanat. So itaha Rama Sandarshanat means because from here. So itaha means, so Rama Sandarshanad Itaha has been interpreted in two ways by the commentators. Rama Sandarshanad Itaha. Itaha means from here. From here means, so it's close by, Mithilopavana is close by. So he's telling here. That is by having Darshana of Rama here. That is in Mithilopavana, in that ashrama of Gautama. So now that Darshana has happened, has Gautama accepted back Ahalya? That is, has my father accepted back my mother? That is one meaning. Or Rama Sandarshanadi Taha. So there Sandarshanadi Taha. Taha. Rama Sandarshanadi Taha. Tasil it's called. So in Vyakarana, so Rama Sandarshanadi Taha means, so it's the same thing. What it means is grammatically there's a slight difference. I don't know how to put it in English. So Rama Sandarshanadi Taha means by, so there this itaha from here, that meaning is not there. Rama Sandarshanadi Taha means by the Sandarshana of Rama, etc. Rama Sandarshana Adi. So by Rama's Sandarshana, by Rama's puja, etc. Because of that reason, so has my father accepted back my mother. That is the idea. Api me Guruna Ramaha Pujitah Kushikatmaja Ihagato Mahatejah Pujam Prapya Mahatmanaha. So api me Guruna Ramaha Pujitaha. Hey Kushikatmaja, has my father, has this Rama been worshipped by my father? So Ramaha me Guruna Pujitaha. So by my father has this Rama been worshipped. Ihagataha Mahatejaha Pujam Prapya Mahatmanaha. So here Ihagataha is again, so again this Tilakakara is telling just a repetition of what he is telling. Ihagataha Mahatejaha. Iha again means here that Mithilopavana. They are in Mithila, but because it's close by, he can say Mithilopavana is Iha, this place. Ihagataha Mahatejaha. So Pujam Prapya Mahatmanaha. So or you can say Ihagataha, that is to Janaka's place he has come, has Rama come here after accepting my father's puja. That is the idea. So Mahatejaha Mahatmanaha Pujam Prapya. Mahatmanaha here is Gautamasya Pujam Prapya. Ihagataha, has Rama come here after accepting Gautama's puja also. That is one way. Or so me Guruna Pitra Iha Mithilopavane Agataha Mahatejaha Ramaha Pujitopi. That is another way. That is, has this Rama been worshipped by this? So it means the same thing, but grammatically there is a slight difference. So anyway, so has this Rama been worshipped by my father? This Rama who has come to that ashrama, has he been worshipped? That is one meaning. Or has Rama come here after being worshipped by my father? So be that as it may, api shante na manasa gurur me kushika atmaja ihagate na ramena pujitena bhivaditaha. So api shante, so api here, api means has all this happened. So that's the intention of api, like I told you. So me guruhu, he kushikatmaja, he Vishwamitra, me guruhu, my father. So ihagatena ramena pujitena shantena manasa abhivaditaha. Has my father been worshipped by Rama with a shanta manasa? That is, did Rama also, reciprocate that respect that Gautama give him? Did Rama also reciprocate back that respect? So Ihagatena Ramena. Here Ihagata again means, Iha means that Mithilopavana. So Mithilopavanam, so that Ihagatena Ramena Shantena Manasa me Guruhu Pujitaha. So Abhivaditaha. Has my father me Guruhu Ramena Abhivaditaha. Has he been worshipped? That is, paid that courtesy, etc. by Rama also. So how Shantena Manasa Abhivaditaha. So Rama, I hope he did not have any ill feelings towards my father or anything like that, that he abandoned his wife and things like that. I hope Rama did not have such ill feelings, etc. That's the dhvani, all that here. So Ramena Pujitena Shantena Manasa Abhivaditaha. I hope Rama also worshipped back him with a Shanta Manas, etc. Tachrutva. So these are all his questions. So has this happened? The idea is, did all that, so did Rama save my mother from the curse, etc. is what he's asking. Tachrutva vachanam tasya Vishwamitro Mahamunihi pratyuvacha shatanandam vakyajno vakyakovidam. So vachanam tasya, that is shatanandasya vachanam shrutva tadvachanam shrutva. Tachrutva vachanam means tadvachanam tasya tadvachanam shrutva. Again the same thing. Vishwamitraha Mahamunihi, that Mahamuni Vishwamitra, Shatanandam Pratyuvacha, he replied back to Shatananda. So what kind of Vishwamitra? Vakyajnaha, he knows how to speak. That is, he knows how to speak appropriately. That Vakyajnaha, Vakyakovidam Shatanandam. So Shatananda also knows how to ask, he asked appropriately, and Vishwamitra answered also appropriately. So Vakyakovidam Shatanandam Vakyajnaha Vishwamitraha Pratyuvacha. Now, Natikrantam Munishreshtha Yatkartavyam Kritam Maya Sangata Munina Patni Bhargaveneva Renuka. So that's all Vishwamitra says. So he Munishreshtha, he Shatananda, Natikrantam. So Maya Natikrantam. Maya na Atikrantam. That is, nothing has been by me. That is, or you can say, so there was no delay done by me. Natikrantam. So what does it mean? What did you do? Yat kartavyam maya kritam. What should be done has been done by me. Yat kartavyam maya kritam. So, and then what is that kartavyam? What is that I was supposed to do? Munina patni sangata. So Munina is that by Gautamena, Patni here is that Ahalya Sangata. That is, they have come together again. That is, they started living together once again. And did they have any ill will towards each other? No. Bhargaveneva Renuka. Like Renuka Devi was accepted again by Bhargava. Bhargava is Parashurama's father there, So Jamadagni. Bhargaveneva Renuka. Like Renuka Devi was accepted back by Jamadagni. Like that, even Ahalya was accepted back by Renuka. So the story of Jamadagni Renuka, you must be knowing Parashurama's story. So there are many versions in the Puranas. Anyway, the story was that Renuka Devi was supposed to be a great Pativrata, so much of Pativrata that she could fill water in an unbaked pot. Okay, so unbaked pot is, so pot when you make out of clay, it's still raw, it can't hold, when you touch it again it will become clay. So how do you do it? The potter very carefully will bake the pot. So once it's baked, then it becomes hard. So baked water has a Arthakriya Karitvam, you can carry water, etc. So this Renuka Devi was such a great Pativrata that she could carry water even in an unbaked pot, and the pot wouldn't break or collapse or anything like that. So one day she went to the pond to collect a river or something to collect water. Then she sees Gandharvas going, and for a moment, so momentarily she will have some interest or something in that people, very momentarily, and because of that momentary, what's it called? So disturbance in the mind, so that pot, that unbaked pot will collapse and all the water will fall down. And then Jamadagni, who's in his ashrama, will know something like this has happened, and then he will order his children one by one to put an end. None of them obey. Ultimately, Parashurama is their youngest son or something like that. So Parashurama will obey to kill those. So he'll kill the mother. And then again Jamadagni will offer, okay, you have done something. The story is told for Pitruvakya Paripalanam. Okay. So because he obeyed his father's word, and then his father will say, okay, I will give you one varam, or two varams actually. What do you want? You ask. And he say, you bring back my mother to life and bring back all my brothers also to life. He curses them, you become stone and things like that. So they also come back to life. That is the story there. So again, Jamadagni and Renuka Devi come back together. Such things. Similarly, this Ahalya and Gautama have come back. तच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं तस्य विश्वामित्रस्य धीमतः शतानन्दो महातेजा रामं वचनमब्रवीत्. सो तच्छ्रुत्वा तस्य विश्वामित्रस्य तद्वचनं श्रुत्वा, so धीमतः विश्वामित्रस्य वचनं श्रुत्वा शतानन्दः महातेजा, that महातेजा Shatananda, Ramam vachanamabravit. He spoke the following words to Rama. What did he say? Swagatam te narashreshta dishtya prapto siraghava vishwamitram puraskritya maharshim aparajitam. So hey Narashrestha, so hey best amongst men, hey Rama, Swagatam te, welcome to you. So Swagatam. So Swagatam actually literally means, so your coming is very appropriate, your coming is very auspicious. That's the idea of Swagatam, literally speaking. So Swagatam is not exactly equal to welcome, So welcome maybe also means the same thing. Your coming is very well done, something like that. So Swagatam means your Agatam, that is your coming here is very appropriate, very nice, is very auspicious. That's the meaning. Swagatam te. So te swagatam, he Narashrestha. Dishtya praptosi Raghava. He Raghava, you are dishtya praptaha. That is, by my great fortune you have been obtained. That is, you have come here by my great fortune. So how did you come? Vishwamitram puraskritya maharshim aparajitam. So aparajitam Vishwamitram maharshim puraskritya dishtya praptosi. You have come here by my great fortune. You have not come alone, but you have come by this great Maharshi who is Vishwamitra. Aparajitam. Aparajitam means nobody, so invincible. That's the idea. Nobody can defeat this Vishwamitra. Such kind of Vishwamitra, along with that great Tejasvi Maharshi Vishwamitra, you have kept him in front. Puraskritya. He's going to say next. So you are very lucky that Vishwamitra was protecting you. So he is going to tell Rama next. So Vishwamitram Puraskritya, you have followed Vishwamitra and come here. That's the idea. Achintya karma tapasa brahmarshi ramita prabha Vishwamitro mahateja vednyenam paramam gatim. So this Vishwamitra, you might think, you might not know Rama, his greatness. Aham vedmi, I know the greatness. So enam vedmi. So aham, I know the greatness of this Vishwamitra. So he is achintya karma. Achintya karma is, so very nicely Tilakakara is telling here. Achintya karma is shloka 14. So achintya karma means manasapi anyena ashakya chintana pratisrishtyadi karta. So this achintya karma means Vishwamitra, all that story will come later. Trishanku Swargam etc. he will create. He will do, so for Brahmadeva Srishti he will do Pratisrishti. So some kind of an imitation of Brahmaji Srishti, something like that. We will see that. So and that kind of act is something that is unthinkable. So people cannot even imagine doing such acts. Such acts this Vishwamitra has done. So he is such great person. So achintya karma, and then so this tapasa is like, so dehali dipanyaya they say tapasa, it can go tapasa achintya karma. He could do such great karmas because of his tapashakti, or tapasa brahmarshihi. So he has become a brahmarshi by his tapas. So tapasa brahmarshihi, all that story will come now. Tapasa brahmarshihi, and then amita prabha, his luster is so something that is, you know, so something unlimited, so infinite luster he is having, something like that. So great luster around him. Vishwamitraha mahateja vedmyenam paramam gatim. So this Vishwamitra who is mahateja, so he's like this. So he's achintya karma etc. So enam paramam gatim. So vedmi, I know his acts. That's the idea. That is what kind of acts. So paramam gatim means that is paramahita pradam, jagataha paramahita pradam. So paramam gatim means I know that his acts are always for the welfare, ultimate welfare of the world. So that kind of acts so whatever he does is for the welfare of the world, and I know. So who is he and how is he doing all these things? I know that he's telling. Nasti dhanyataro rama tvattonyo bhuvi kaschana gopta kushika putraste yena taptam mahattapaha. Hey Rama, so tvattaha anyaha dhanyataraha nasti bhuvi kaschana nasti. So there is nobody who is more, so kaschana bhuvi on this earth, tvattaha anyaha dhanyataraha nasti. There is nobody who is more fortunate than you. That is, you are extremely fortunate. So why are you extremely fortunate? Because so yena kushika putraha te gopta. So kushika putraha te gopta. You are, because you are extremely fortunate because Sakshat Vishwamitra himself is your protector. And then what kind of Vishwamitra? What? Okay, so what? So what if Vishwamitra is my protector? Yena taptam mahat tapaha. This Vishwamitra who has done great tapas, he is protecting you. So hey Rama, you are extremely fortunate. There is nobody more fortunate than you. Shruyatam chabhidasyami kaushikasya mahatmanaha yatha balam yatha tattvam tanme nigadata shrunu. So Shruyatam chabhidasyami. So hey Rama, listen, I will tell you. Abhidasyami. So kaushikasya mahatmanaha yatha balam yatha tattvam. So I will tell you this, the great bala of this Kaushika and great tattvam, that is his nature, his stature etc., his tapashakti. I will tell you. Tanme nigadataha shrunu. So while I am speaking, nigadataha may means from me. So that is all this, his tapashakti, his tapashcharya, that story. May nigadataha, from me who's going to reveal. That is from me who is revealing, but then he's yet going to reveal. That is, because that in time wise he's going to tell immediately. So he's telling I'm already revealing. So may nigadataha shrunu. So attentively listen. Already I told this once. Already somebody is listening to you, but then you go and tell him shrunu, means that is, you are telling attentively you listen. So nigadataha shrunu. Rajasi desha dharmatma dirghakalam arindamaha dharmagnyah krita vidyascha prajanancha hiterataha. So esha dharmatma raja asid. He was a great dharmika king. So raja asid esha dharmatma dirghakalam arindamaha. So for a very long time he was, so or you can say long time back he was a great raja. Dirghakalam, actually it means for a long time he was a king. And then arindamaha is, so he was somebody who could put an end to his, or who could control, actually not a put an end, but then he could control his enemies, such kind of this Vishwamitra. So dharmagnyaha kritavidyascha prajanancha hiterataha. So dharmagnyaha, he was a great knower of dharma, and then kritavidyaha, There's something I marked here in the Tika, maybe I forgot to mention. Anyway, so Dharmagyaha Kritavidya. Kritavidya is, so by his great tapashakti, he has obtained great vidyas that we have seen. All those, those astra, shastras, etc., he imparted to Rama. So Dharmagyaha Kritavidyascha Prajanancha Hite Rataha. So he was a Dharmagya and he had great astra vidyas, etc., with him because of his tapas. And then Prajanancha Hite Rataha. He was always engaged in the welfare of his people. Prajanancha Hite Rataha. Uh, प्रजापति सुतस्त्वासीत् कुशो नाम महीपतिः कुशस्य पुत्रो बलवान् कुशनाभसुधार्मिकः कुशनाभस्य कुशनाभसुतस्त्वासीत् गाधिरित्येव विश्रुतः गाधेः पुत्रो महातेजा विश्वामित्रो महामुनिः. So we have seen the story. In fact, Vishwamitra himself told his lineage in particular story earlier. Kushanabha story we have seen. So he is telling the same thing. Prajapati Sutastvasit Kusho Nama Mahipatihi. So Prajapati had a son called Kusha who was Mahipati, who was also ruling over this earth. So Kushaha Mahipatihi Prajapati Sutaha Asit. So there used to be this son of Prajapati Brahmaji who was Kusha. Kushasya putro Balavan Kushanabha Sudharmikaha. Sad Kushasya putraha was Kushanabha who was Balavan and who was a great Dharmika Sudharmikaha. Kushanabhasutastvasit Gadhirityeva Vishrutaha. Kushanabhasutaha, that is this Gadhi was Kushanabhasya Sutaha, and then he is Gadhirityeva Vishrutaha. He was famous by the name Gadhi. This famous by the name Gadhi means that so he did great acts which made him famous. That's the idea. And he was also very famously called Gadhi. You can say that way. Gadhirityeva Vishrutaha. So Gadhev Putro Mahateja Vishwamitro Mahamunihi. So this Vishwamitra Mahamuni and this Mahateja Vishwamitra is Gadhehe Putraha. He is the son of that Gadhi. Vishwamitro Mahateja Palayama Samedinim Bahuvarsha Sahasrani Raja Rajyam Akarayat. So this Vishwamitraha Mahatejaha Medinim Palayamasa. He ruled over this entire earth. Bahuvarsha Sahasrani Raja Rajyam Akarayat. So for many thousands of years, Bahuvarsha Sahasrani, this Raja. So back then he was Vishwamitra, that Raja. So Rajyam Akarayat. So he ruled. So that Raja did Rajyam. That is Raja ruled over. Now the same thing he is telling in the first half of the shloka and second half of the shloka. So Tikakaras are nicely saying the first half is to say that even when he was a Yuva Raja, he was already ruling over the kingdom. And then later he became the king, and even at that time he continued to rule over with great dharma, etc. Kadachittu Mahateja Yojayitva Varuthinim Akshauhini Parivrataha Parichakrama Medinim. So this Mahateja, that king, one day, Kadachittu means suddenly one day, Kadachittu Yojayitva Varuthinim Yojayitva. So Varuthini means Chaturanga Balam. So Ratha Gaja Turaga Padati, that Chaturanga Balam, that is Ratha is that chariots, and then Gaja is elephants, Turaga is horse, and then this infantry. So cavalry, infantry, elephantry, and whatever, chariotry, whatever you want to call. So this Varuthini means Chaturanga Balam. So Varuthinim Yojayitva. So he assembled Varuthini, that is Chaturanga Balam, he assembled Yojayitva, and how many? Akshauhini Parivrataha. So that is these two ways again to explain here Tilakakara's understanding and Shiromani Kara's understanding. This Varuthini, so Akshauhini Varuthini, that is one Akshauhini full of Chaturanga Balam. That is Tilakakara is telling. Shiromani Kara is telling he had an Akshauhini Sena, and then apart from that Akshauhini, this Akshau, so some other Sena he had which is Varuthini, something like that. But more appropriate seems to be this Varuthini. That is Akshauhini becomes an adjective to this Varuthini. He had Chaturanga Balam, but how many? One Akshauhini of Chaturanga Balam he had, and then suddenly one day he assembled. That is, he had lot of Sena, but then he took along with him this Chaturanga Bala, Akshauhini Chaturanga Bala. He took along with him Parivrataha. So they were along with him Parivrataha. They are around him. So all of them Parichakrama Medinim. So they went around this earth. So Medinim Parichakrama. So they went upon to maybe conquer people or something like that. Medinim Parichakrama. Nagarani cha Rashtrani Saritascha Mahagirin Ashraman Kramasho Raja Vicharan Najagamaha. So Nagarani cha Rashtrani Saritascha Mahagirin. So when he was traveling like that on his conquest or whatever, so he traveled. So he went to many places. What are those places? Nagarani, to many cities, Rashtrani, to many kingdoms, Saritascha Mahagirin. So to many rivers, etc., great mountains. That is, he went far and wide. He went. And then ashraman kramasho raja vicharan ajagamaha. So ashraman kramashaha ashraman vicharan. So on the ways there were many ashramas also. So many ashramas vicharan kramashaha. Kramashaha, as they came on his way, he visited those ashramas also. Ashraman kramashaha vicharan, that Raja ajagamaha. Finally he came. So where did he come? Vasishthasya ashrama padam nana pushpalatadrumam. So Vasishthasya ashrama padam, he finally came to Vasishtha's ashrama. Vasishthasya ashrama padam. How was it? Nana pushpalatadrumam. I think this is where I marked it. So Nana pushpalatadrumam, shloka 23. Not able to find. Anyway, so I was just trying to, it was very nicely explained that, yeah, so Agni Kalpaihi I have marked. So Nana, I will tell you there. So anyway, Nana Pushpa Lata Drumam is, Druma means tree, okay? But this tree was filled with Nana Pushpa and Lata. That is, tree was filled with many flowers, and then many creepers were surrounding around it. So there were many such trees around which the creepers were, our creepers are taking ashraya on it, and there are many flowers. So such kind of an ashrama was there, which is Vasishtha's ashrama, and he finally came to that ashrama. Now see, the next few shlokas are a description of, very beautiful description of Vasishtha's ashrama. So this here, so Vasishthasya ashrama padam, from there itself, again you should read one more anvaya. So Vasishthasya ashrama padam nana pushpalata drumam nana mriga ganakirnam siddhacharana sevitam devadanava gandharvaihi kinnarairupashobhitam prashanta harinakirnam dvijasangha nishevitam brahmarshigana sankirnam devarshigana sevitam tapascharana samsiddhair agnikalpair mahatmabhihi सततं संकुलं श्रीमद्ब्रह्मकल्पैर्महात्मभिः अभक्षैर्वायुभक्षैश्च शीर्णपर्णाशनैस्तथा फलमूलाशनैर्दान्तैर्जितदोषैर्जितेन्द्रियैः ऋषिभिर्वालखिल्यैश्च जपहोमपरायणैः अन्यैर्वैखानसैश्चैव समन्तादुपशोभितं वसिष्ठस्य आश्रमपदं ब्रह्म वसिष्ठस्य आश्रमपदं ब्रह्मलोकमिवापरं ददर्श जयतां श्रेष्ठो विश्वामित्रो महाबलः. So the Vasishthasya Ashramapadam. So this Vishwamitraha Dadarsha. So this, from this beginning from 22nd shloka to 28th shloka's first line. So 28th shloka is, so 3-line shloka, that is. So from that 22nd to 23rd shloka till the first line of 28th shloka, this is a very beautiful set of verses in which there is no karta at all. So this karta is coming in the second 2 lines of 28. That is here just a description of Vasishtha's ashrama. So Vasishthasya ashrama padam, it is nana pushpa lata drumam. That is, there are many drumas, that is many trees which are filled with flowers, and then many creepers are entwined to it, something like that. Then nana mriga ganakirnam. So many mriga ganas are there, that is many groups or hosts of animals. So many animals are very freely roaming. That is the idea of saying this ashrama is nana mriga ganakirnam. Means many animals are freely roaming here and there. Siddhacharana sevitam. So Siddhas, Charanas are also coming and staying there here. So that is the ashrama. Devadanava gandharvaihi kinnareir upashobhitam. So this Devatas, Danavas, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, all these people are also living there, and they are also increasing the beauty of that ashrama, upashobhitam. Prashanta harina kirnam. So there are many harina means, deers, that deer. And then there are many deers moving here and there in the forest. And what kind of deers? They are Prashanta harina. That is, deer is supposed to be extremely chanchala, always on alert, because it faces a threat when in forest. So some predator might come and eat it. So it's always on the alert. But here in this ashrama, that those deers are Prashanta. So Prashanta harina kirnam. So when Mahatmas have great tapashakti, they say even all animals become very Prashanta in their presence. That's the idea of, there is a form of Shiva with Chaturbhuja, So in the Chaturbhuja, in Shiva has, so he has this Kuranga in his hand. That is, he has a deer in his hand. So that shows that how, so Shiva externally, if you see, he is a very disturbing person. His rupa, etc. So he's smeared with ash, he's wearing snakes and things like that. Gajacharma, he's wearing elephant skin and things like that. But then his tapashakti, he's a great, he's Bhagwan himself, what to speak about his tapashakti, etc. So he's a very calm person. That's why even a deer is able to roam around it. That's the idea. So Prashanta harina kirnam Dvijasangha Nishevitam. So many Dvijas are also there in that ashrama. Brahmarshi Gana Sankirnam. So many Brahmarshis are there. Devarshi Gana Sevitam. Many Devarshis are also there. So what is this Brahmarshi and Devarshi? So Devarshi, this is also very nicely told in Tilakakara. Jnana Matradhikruta Naradadya Devaloka Sancharinaha Devarshayaha. So Devarshis are people who are Jnana Matradhikrita. So they are Jnanamatra, that is, they are great Jnanis, and then they roam about from one loka to the other loka. They are Brahmarshis. Who are they? Are Devarshis. Who are these Brahmarshis? Jnana Karma Ubhayadhikrita Brahmarshayaha Bhu Pratishtaha. So these Brahmarshis are people who are engaged in both Jnana and Karma, both of them. So they are there. Um, so they are there in Bhuloka. So this Brahmarshi and Devarshi. Tapascharana samsiddhaihi agnikalpaihi mahatmabhihi satatam sankulam. So tapascharana samsiddhaihi. So those people who have become siddhas by performing tapas. So tapascharana samsiddhaihi, they are also there. Satatam sankulam. So always filled by whom? Tapascharana samsiddhaihi. And then agnikalpaihi mahatmabhihi. So you can say agnikalpaihi and mahatmabhihi, by agnikalpas and by mahatmas, or you can say by mahatmas who are agnikalpas. So agnikalpa means what? Agnikalpaihi agnim kalpayanti pratidinam vidhina sthapayanti te agnihotrinaha iti. So agnikalpaihi means agnihotribhihi. That is, these people agnikalpaihi means every day they are lighting their they are not lighting, that fire is always there. Every day they are offering, that so that whatever aupasanam etc. grihastha are supposed to do. So all those things, they are very well lit fires they have. So that is agnikalpaihi mahatmabhihi satatam sankulam. So always filled there. And then Srimad Satatam Sankulam Srimat. Srimat is, it is having great beauty there. And then Brahma Kalpair Mahatmabhihi. Those Mahatmas who are Brahma Kalpa. Brahma Kalpa is, so you can say, equal to Brahma. See, Agni Kalpa also means that there those rishis etc. who are staying there are like Agni in their appearance, brilliance etc. Or Agni Kalpaihi, that was Shiromani Kara's Yakhya. Similarly, Brahma Kalpaihi also he is telling Shrimanto ye Brahma Vedam Kalpayanti Veda Shakha Vibhaga Kartaraha iti avate. So Brahma Kalpaihi. So they are, Brahma here means Veda, and Brahma Kalpaihi. Kalpana means doing here. So Kalpai, Brahma Kalpaihi, what are they doing with the Veda? That is Veda Shakha Vibhaga Kartaraha. They are studying the Vedas and doing Shakha Vibhaga etc. So it seems to me, after reading this Vyakhya, that Veda Vyasa is of course called, so one who divided the Vedas into four etc. But then maybe it was a process that was there for a long time, and then Vyasa finally gave a settlement to it, very nicely organized and things like that. Anyway, so Brahmakalpa is a very weak linga to make such an statement, but then basing on the Vyakhya of Shiromani Kara, I am saying that maybe it was a long drawn process, and it's understandable. So Vyasa, if you give kind of a human kind of interpretation, maybe that's not required, but then if you want to give a human kind of interpretation, Vyasa came and completed a task that maybe for a long time was there. Vyasa ultimately is Vasishtha's own lineage. He's, so he's a great grandson, something like that, of Vasishtha. So anyway, so Brahmakalpaihi Mahatmabhihi Abhakshaihi Vayubhakshaischa. So there are people who only consume water. Abhaksha. So up means water, waters actually. So these people are always only consuming waters. And then Vayu Bhakshahi, some other people are there who are only consuming Vayu, that is, they are not even consuming those waters. And Shirna Parnachanaihi Tatha. And then there are other people who are only eating Shirna Parna. Parna means leaves, and then Ashana means eating. So Shirna Parna is leaves that have fallen down. They are not even making the effort to pluck those leaves and eat. That is, whatever is fallen down, they are picking and eat. So they're not that they are lazy or anything. They're very sensitive people. So they don't even want to pluck leaves. Whatever is fallen down, they are taking and eating. Phala Moolashanai Dantair Jitadoshair Jitendriyehi. So you might think, okay, if I also go to Vasishtha Ashrama, I might get only water, Vayu, and Shirna Parna. So no, there are other people who are Phala Moolashana. They are eating phalas and those Kanda Moolas. Moola means roots, So those roots and sap and things like that. Phala Moolashanaihi. And then they are also there. Dantaihi. Dantas are people, that is, they have Indriya Nigraha, etc. Such people. Jita Doshaihi Jitendriyahi. Somebody who have conquered their indriyas, and therefore they have conquered all doshas also. Jita doshaihi jitendriyahi. That all these kinds of people are there in that ashrama. That's the idea. Rishibhir valakhilyeishcha japahoma parayanaihi. So Rishibhihi, rishis are there. Valakhilyehi. So this valakhilya, and then the next line Vaikhanasa. Two classes of people are there. Vaikhanasa and valakhilya. So what is this Vaikhanasa and Valakhilya? It seems ye nakhaha te Vaikhanasaha ye Valaha te Valakhilyaha. Actually, it's a Shruti, so I should not make those Sandhi rules. Ye nakhas te Vaikhanasaha ye Valas te Valakhilyaha. It seems there is Shruti like that. That is, those people who are born from Brahmaji's nakha, that is nails, they are called Vaikhanasas. And those people that are born from the hair of Brahmaji, they are called Valakhilya. So Vala means, Bal we say in Hindi anyway. So Valakhilyaha, that is those people who are born from the hair of Brahmaji. So those people are there. So Brahma Roma Nakhaja Valakhilya Vaikhanasascha. So these Brahma Roma and Nakha. So people born from Brahma's Roma, that is from the hair, they are Valakhilyaha. And there are people born from Brahma's Nakha, they are Vaikhanasas. Those people are also there. Rishibhihi Valakhilyeishcha Japa Homa Parayanaihi. People are engaged in Japa, Homa, etc. And Samantad Upashobhitam. So the Samantad Upashobhitam applies to all that we have seen, all those Bahuvachanams that we have seen here. So it is filled by all these, so these Valakhilyas, then Vaikhanasas, and all these Mahatmas, Tapasvis, Abhakshas, Vayubhakshas. It is filled with all these people, that ashrama. Vasishthasya ashramapadam brahmalokam ivaparam tadarsha jayatam shrestho Vishwamitro Mahabalaha. So that Vishwamitraha Mahabalaha, Vishwamitra, who was a great hero, and what kind of great prowess he had, and he is Jayatam Shresthaha, who's so he's Shrestha amongst all conquerors. So Jayatam Shresthaha means the best amongst all conquerors. So that Vishwamitraha Dadarsha, he saw. What did he see? Vasishthasya Ashrama Padam. He saw this Vasishta's Ashrama Padam, that is Ashrama Sthanam. It is Brahmalokam Ivaparam, as though Aparam Brahmaloka. This is as though another Brahmaloka only. So he saw that Vasishta's Ashrama, which is looking like Brahmaloka itself, that Vishwamitra saw. So here's you, Jayatam Shresthaha and Mahabalaha are kind of, hints to the story that is going to come. So this great Mahabala, Vishwamitra, who was a great king, had great prowess, he is Jayatam Shresthaha, but he could not do anything to that tapas shakti that Vasishta had. That is the next story. We know in brief, we all know the story of Vishwamitra and Vasishta, etc. But these are hints to the story that is going to come. इत्यार्षे श्रीमद् रामायणे वाल्मीकिये आदि काव्ये बालकांडे एकपञ्चाशः सर्गः. So we will do the next sarga in the next session. Om yatra yatra raghunath kirtanam tatra tatra kritamastakaanjalim bashpavari paripurnalochanam marutim namata rakshasantakam. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva avashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Rama Arpanamastu. So if you have anything to ask, you can ask.